One day, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, took me to Mariano's, and I nearly fell over when I saw the prices on everything there. Hey everyone, it's Prashant here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to reduce your cost of living. Let's dive right in. Guys, I'm a huge believer of living beneath your means and saving your money so you can start building a nest egg that you can rely upon in case there's an emergency or just to save for the future. It is absolutely important to save your money while you are young and you're working so that you can rely upon that in the future when you're retired. It is absolutely stunning to me that more than half of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck. This means that at the end of the month, after they've paid off all of their bills, including rent, utilities, food, etc., they do not have any money left over. This means that if they miss even one paycheck, they will not be able to meet their commitments and might have to make some difficult decisions, such as not being able to pay for food or rent or medicine. In fact, even Americans who make higher incomes of $50,000 to $100,000 sometimes find it hard to save money. Now, here are my thoughts, especially on people who make higher incomes and are still living paycheck to paycheck. You see, what happens is as their income increases, they experience something called as lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. For example, let's say when you go to the grocery store, you always buy the store brand cereal because it's $2 cheaper than a box of the name brand cereal. Now, let's say you got a promotion at your job and maybe you're making $200 more every month. And the next time you go to the grocery store, you maybe buy the name brand cereal and you don't really notice the $2 difference in your grocery bill. Maybe you always buy the basic economy fare when you're traveling because you don't mind sitting in the middle row because you're always traveling alone. But after your recent promotion, maybe you decided to treat yourself and splurge on the upcharge so you can sit in the exit row for extra legroom. Since you're making a little bit more money, maybe you've convinced yourself that this is a luxury that you can now afford or maybe even deserve. And before you know it, all of these small things that were luxuries before now become an essential part of your life. This is what is called lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is something that is experienced by most people, me included. In fact, when I got my first promotion, I went ahead and I got myself a bigger and more expensive car. It cost me $100 a month more, so I just went ahead and did it because I knew I could afford it. Now, I also did it because this car was safer and more comfortable, and I figured it was a good thing for me because I was spending so many hours on the road driving every day. However, if I could go back in time and do it again, I would buy a used, cheaper car, which would still meet the rest of my criteria. The problem with lifestyle creep is that your expenses always rise along with your income. This is exactly what happens to high-income earners. As their income increases, their expenses increase also, and pretty soon they're back to living paycheck to paycheck. This is why I advocate living below your means. If you have this mindset, you will be able to grow the gap between your income and your expenses. As time grows, your income will keep increasing, but if you can keep your expenses low as time grows, the gap between your income and expenses increase, and you can save all of this money for your future. Before we continue with this video, I want to take a minute to please request you to hit that like button and that subscribe button. And please share this video with somebody you think would find this video interesting, maybe a classmate or a friend. This will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm and allow me to keep making these videos. Now let's get back to the video where I'll give you 5 tips to reduce your cost of living to make sure you're indeed living below your means and avoiding lifestyle creep. Number 1, live with your parents or with a roommate. Guys, I grew up in India where it is very common for adult children to continue to live with their parents, often till marriage and sometimes even after that in a joint family. When I moved to the US, I found it really interesting to see that kids above the age of 18 typically don't live with their parents. Now, I understand that a lot of kids go to college at this time and they often move to campus while they're studying at college, which I totally understand. What I don't understand is not going back to your parents' place after college is over to live with them for a few more years to be able to save more money. In my opinion, not living with your parents after college is a huge waste of money. Now I understand this is not possible for everybody. Maybe you have a job that is in a different state than your parents live in, or maybe your parents just want their privacy. But in any other case, I think it is a fantastic option that everybody should use. The largest portion of most young people's expense is housing. It certainly was true for me. And honestly, I did not need an entire apartment to myself. In fact, I lived with a roommate for many years after college till he moved with his girlfriend. In fact, I remember being quite upset when he moved in with his girlfriend and I had to get an apartment by myself because it ended up increasing my living expenses by $400 a month. I'd suggest that everyone try to live with your parents or with a roommate for as long as you can well into adulthood. If it makes sense, go ahead and pay your parents some rent or pay for the utilities or help out with the groceries. Even if you do this, you will end up spending a lot less money than you would if you were to rent your own apartment and pay for all of your expenses by yourself. Number 2, stop eating out. I have not been a fan of eating out a lot for several years now. When I first started work, I found it really hard to be able to pack lunches and bring that. So I ended up going for lunches with my coworkers 2 to 4 times a week. Since I usually went out for fast food or to a cheap sit-down restaurant, I would typically spend about $10 a meal, which translates to about $20 to $40 a week. Now that doesn't sound too bad, but if you extrapolate that for the year, that converts to $1,040 to $2,080 every year. Again, this might not sound like an exorbitant amount, but let's extrapolate that to 10 years. Now I'm spending $10,000 to $20,000 over the 10 years just for lunches. Add to this going out on the weekend with your friends to get drinks or a dinner and average, let's say, $50 for the weekend. If you extrapolate that for 10 years, that's an additional $26,000. So all in all, this is $50,000 over a period of 10 years in just food. And again, this is only for one person. Add to this the cost of one other adult, maybe a spouse or significant other, and this cost rises to $100,000 easily. And I know that I've always been very frugal in this category, and I know there are thousands of people out there who outspend me in this category by a lot. In fact, I'd bet that this category of spending, going out to eat and drink with your friends, is a huge portion for most people's expenses. Now I get it. It's so much fun to go out and meet your friends after a difficult week in the office on a Friday, or to go out and check out that new restaurant, or just consider the cost of this habit extrapolated over a long time, and it is truly astronomical. And this is before even considering how much that money would be worth if you went ahead and invested it. Saving money on this one category of spending by just meeting your friends at their or your house for drinks or dinner will be life-changing. Number 3, buy cheaper groceries. I am truly astounded by my coworkers and friends who shop at the most expensive grocery stores there are. One day, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, took me to Mariano's, and I nearly fell over when I saw the prices on everything there. And that was before I even went to Whole Foods, which is even more expensive. There is nothing wrong at buying groceries at a cheaper grocery store. They're all the same. In fact, let me give you a pro tip. Try shopping at an ethnic grocery store. If there's an East Asian or Indian grocery store in your area, consider stopping in. Not only will you find the freshest produce, you will find rock bottom prices that you will never find anywhere else. In fact, we do most of our grocery shopping at our local Indian grocery store. Another thing that I would recommend is to stop shopping specifically for a recipe. Try to develop a comfort level of cooking many different dishes by using the same bulk basic ingredients. This will allow you to buy a lot of ingredients in bulk, such as dry goods, and be able to use that consistently to cook delicious meals. In addition, when you're shopping for a recipe, you'll notice that it often calls for a dash or a sprinkle of a spice or condiment that you don't have. And the smallest pack of that you can buy at the grocery store will be a $10 bottle. And you end up buying it, using it once, and then putting it in a drawer and forgetting about it, never to be used again. Planning your grocery purchases and shopping at a cheaper grocery store will help you save a lot of money by bringing your grocery bills down over the long term. Number 4, audit your subscriptions. Remember when you first got Netflix? Back in 2010, it was a simple matter of just paying $8 a month and finally be able to get rid of your $60 a month cable subscription. A real steal. Then slowly you added Hulu, and then you added HBO for Game of Thrones, and then Disney Plus for The Mandalorian, not to mention Spotify and Apple Music. Along the way, you also picked up a subscription to Stitch Fix or Dollar Shave Club, and before you know it, you're being charged $10 each by each of these services. Most of us don't even realize, but we might be paying upwards of $100 per month combined for all of these services that we subscribe to. And let's be real, we probably don't need Spotify and Apple Music. I think it's a really good idea for all of us to go through our credit card statements and recognize all of these services that we get auto-billed for with the aim of reducing at least one. Chances are, not only will you be able to cut out one, but maybe even 2 or 3 services, which will end up saving you a lot of money over the year and over the long term. Number 5, shop for insurance. It is a great idea to shop for insurance when it comes for renewal, or at least once a year. This includes everything: rental insurance, homeowners insurance, or auto insurance. Now, these insurances come up for renewal every 6 months. But it is not necessary that you have to wait till the end of the renewal term to go ahead and shop for insurance. You can pick any day of the week and call a bunch of insurance agencies and get quotes to provide insurance coverage. If you find better or cheaper insurance, go ahead and get that one. Then call your old insurer and ask them to cancel your policy. They will actually go ahead and refund any premiums you might have paid already, prorated to the date that you cancel your insurance. Now I get it. Insurance is scary and the terms are difficult to understand. Maybe you're not sure what your insurance coverage is and what you actually need. That's okay. All you have to do is tell the new insurance agent to match what you previously had. You can even tell that insurance agent that you would like to understand more about what your coverage is, and ask them to go line by line to explain what each of these items mean and what that coverage amount is. In fact, that is their job to do as an insurance agent. If you ever get an insurance agent who is unwilling to do this, simply hang up and call another one. Another way to save money on insurance is to bundle it. For example, if you get an auto insurance and a renter's insurance with one insurance company, they will give you what is called as a bundling discount for having both of those insurances with that company. In addition, if you went to college, you can always ask insurance companies to give you a discount because you're a college graduate. On top of that, if you're a member of, let's say, a credit union, you can ask that insurance company if they have a discount for you because you're a member of that credit union. And once you get a quote, if it is actually higher than what you're currently paying, that's fine. Don't change your insurance. You're not obligated to do that. Auto insurance companies are notorious for increasing your premiums by $2 to $4 a month so that you don't realize that your premiums are going up. And pretty soon you're paying higher premiums than you actually should be. So I'd recommend shopping for insurance at least every year. Just make sure to get insurance from a reputable insurance company so that if and when you need to file a claim, you have a company that will actually provide you with the support and be able to pay out your claim. I myself have saved money multiple times by changing my auto insurance, my renter's insurance, and now my homeowner's insurance by going to different companies and getting quotes every 6 to 12 months. That's all I have for you guys in today's video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below and I'll try my very best to answer them. Go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. This will help me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and help my channel reach out to more people who are interested in taking this personal finance journey with us. Also, go ahead and click the bell icon to be notified instantly when I post a new video. I will be posting one video every week on this channel with great new financial content and would love to see you back here. Follow me on Instagram where I post every week. I'll be leaving my handle in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.